5-minute. Alrighty, let's go with D4. And let's go with this. I want to learn more about the Trompowsky. And I'm going to take that. And try and show that this pawn move is not purposeful. Let's see if I could do that. I'm going to play a bit more solid with this move. Instead of coming out here, I want to make sure I maintain control over this pawn. And let's play bishop here. I haven't decided if I want to play pawn to c4. Let's get this in. Maybe I do want to do this move. Interesting. Okay, well, get my knights out. I'll be looking into, what am I going to be looking into? Let's put pressure on this center a little bit. I want to kick this bishop back. Okay, we're not having that. So, it's going to come over here, back up. Give it a check, I just block. Now what? Has opened up. I guess there is this pawn push breaking at my center. And I actually do not have this move available. Oh, now that's interesting. Because that was the advantage that black had, having the bishop pair, and now it's been given up. The king side is a problem. Well, okay, it's a bit weak in double pawns, but I don't know if that was a good decision. Let's see. Okay, so I have to show an advantage if there's really an advantage. Could I just throw my knight here and go after the bishop? Let's just castle. I'm foreseeing pressure on the queen side. Interesting. Now I'm foreseeing pressure on the C pawn. I'm gonna get this advance in, or even A4. There's a couple moves I could have available to me. Also, whoa, now that's pretty nuts right there. I think that loses a pawn though. Bishop here, F5, otherwise I get the C6 pawn. If bishop here, pawn push, bishop back, the knight moves, then queen to F3 hits at both of these squares. I'm going to try that, I think. Hang on. Let me just get out of this pin. Let's do this first. Okay, let's come back. Now that I've provoked this, queen F3 will come with an additional point to be hit. Although queen F3 could be... Okay, well, the knight has to go to this square. Okay, it's going there. Queen here... Queen F3, Queen D5, E4, pawn takes. Let me try that. Time issue. Less than... Well, my opponent has a minute plus on me, so I'm netting this pawn, or am I? Or am I? Or am I? Knight H4. Bishop takes pawn would be met with knight H4. Okay. So I'm glad I didn't do that. And before it's too late, I should really challenge this pawn. Interesting. Very interesting. Bishop here, followed by a pawn push and a pawn capture or something. Or maybe bring my knight into this square. This is tricky. Pretty tricky. I really don't want to take here. I would rather, okay, that capture occur. And, well, let's go with this. I gotta go quicker. If there's an advantage, I'm trying to make it be this pawn right here. I'm gonna take... I don't want this rook to get to b2 so easily, so let's do this. And I want to just throw my knight into c5. And take here. The queen gets active, but Hopefully this could work. Yeah, the queen's really going to get active. Maybe I shouldn't have allowed that. Okay, I think just double up. Double those rooks. Let's do it here first. If queen b2, I could throw my rook on a5. Rook to c2 was probably a bit more solid. So, but this is something that really can't be ignored, can it? I'm in a checking position. Queen c4. Let's go here, pin that knight. And then I think I could just take that next. Okay, that knight's pinned. Queen trade? So let's play here. I'd like to get the queens off the board. I think this pawn could fall in a position where there aren't any queens, so I really just want to get rid of the most active black piece here. Alright, we're probably going to dance a little bit here with some checks. Alright, a little dancing going on. Now that, I'm okay with that. 'Cause I think I could get that pawn. Okay, watch out for the tricky forks. I'm not seeing where the forks are. With that last move, what does black have to watch out for? To watch out for 7th rank issues. The king could be cut off, and let's kind of box him out. If h5, I just play here. Let's just do it anyhow. There might be a knight move there. Maybe I'm gonna keep my rook. I think it's the more active. Could do this pawn advance. I'm not seeing a clear win. I see small improvements I can be making. This not being one of them. I thought it was, but it gives the knight the f4 square. What about rook right here? Maybe my rook could be doing something else. And alright, where are the tricks here? Let me do this. Trade knights. It's actually forced, as otherwise I'm getting this. Or something. Ooh. Okay. Active rook. Keep the active rook there. Take here. Trade. Let's trade. Trade, 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 or I get another pawn. Or do I? I want to just defend f... oh, man, that's a good move. That's a really good move. Oh, okay, I have a check, and then I could grab c6. For a second, I thought the rook played here. I want to get active. I want to be able to defend my f2 pawn. Just can't be easy. The rooks are getting active now. Getting active with those rooks. Alright, I want to maybe give a check to the king or something. Right here, and then push this pawn. Just a little bit. I have f2 covered. Maybe I should get my king involved. King f3 would be bad. I was just thinking king f3. Don't do that. Don't you dare do that. I could try this. I could give up f2 because I get some other pieces back. I'm gonna take on f2. Let's take here. I get a bunch of pawns. How do you win this king and pawn endgame? Well, I don't think it should be too bad. Let's just play here, and then king position is the last thing. King position. Could actually go for a little walk. Right over here, and then push that pawn away. My rook is cutting the black king off, and then this one could just push away. Watch out for a stalemate. No stalemate. Okay. Interesting middle game right there. I thought I had a lot of pressure, and then I thought I was winning a pawn, and I wasn't winning a pawn, and let me gather my thoughts here. I really didn't know. I thought I was good. I thought I was doing good, but I wasn't able to show it earlier on. I thought I should have been able to, but there was some good resistance put up there by a good player. So let's see here. Backing up and looking at it from Black's perspective, I'm not so sure about the h6 move. Maybe just d5. I think the popular move, the most typical moves are e4 and d5. I really don't know about h6. That's just one quick thing, and I'm not so sure about the decision to run with right here with bishop takes knight. However, I think that c5 is a good move. I think c5 is so what's the scoop with c5? c5 opens the position up, the bishop pair, and I don't have this move. Or no, wait a second. I do have that available. I do have that available. c5, I would have this move available. I was thinking queen takes can't be played because the knight is pinned. But I would have bishop check and I pick off the queen. So there is a response to c5. So I was mistaken during the game with my thought process there. The knight is able to reposition to this square, and I'm not winning a pawn here. I consumed a lot of time on that one. But at the end of it, if I took this pawn again, there'd be bishop takes pawn is met with knight h4. So let's not do that. And what's the scoop here? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have pressure on this pawn, so is there some way to get rid of that c pawn? Because that's a big problem, isn't it? How can you get rid of that c pawn? It's kind of tough. Maybe pushing b5 is not a good idea because it is making it backwards. Maybe there's a more solid approach, like knight b6 and then bishop to e6. I think that turns out to be a problem, having an isolated c pawn. So maybe that's a move that could go. You could go without playing that b5 move. I'm not sure. It would seem that way. It would seem that there's going to be something better to be doing than that, because it does turn out to be a problem. Yeah, there's no structural damage on the white end, but this turns out to be a target. So I don't know about b5 and the earlier h6 moves, but there was clearly a lot of resistance put up throughout the whole game and even into the end game because of the pressure that maybe could be placed on f2, which was not too far off. I did have to make sure I got my rook in a position to guard it on the f file here. I'm up a pawn in this spot, but as soon as your rooks start getting active, one pig on the second, and then I need to have this rook around to defend like that. But anyhow, good resistance being down that pawn for so long right there, and I did have to watch out for the little tricks along the way with for sure. I had to watch out for those tricks, the knight h4 move in particular.